Okay, hello YouTube, it's your girl Missy Mocha. Today is Saturday, July 14th. The time right now is 10:35 in the evening. I want to come at y'all today because I got an email. It was actually an email based off of the husband-wife tag video, and let's see, how can I put this? It was just dialogue between two individuals, me and somebody who saw the video. Originally, they asked the question of, well, you know what? Here, I'll do this. I'm going to read you the message, and then what I'll do is read you my response. Now, this is 4 letters long, and the only reason that I'm going to go ahead and read it to you is because I need for you to really get an understanding of what the dialogue was, and things like that, and to let you know that a lot of people actually feel this way. This is not the first time that well, mainly me, because this is my channel, and you know, I put things on here about our family, about our relationship, and you know, so it's basically my channel, but it's pertaining all of us. And I really want you guys to understand that a lot of people get hate email, a lot of people get negative comments and things like that on their video. And lately I have been to the point of, I probably shouldn't put this out there because it'll just encourage haters to keep hating, but I pretty much feel like they're gonna do that anyway, so the only thing I can do is just be real with it. So I'm gonna read you the email that was sent to me and then my reply. There were 4 of each, okay? On the 12th of July, this is what I got. Because I've pretty much been to the point where I've been dreading every time I see that a comment on that video in particular come to my email address, that I don't even want to read it. Because, and the thing about it is, I get mostly positive feedback, but then there are those times where you get such negative feedback that it just makes you not even want to read it anymore, or to like disable the comments and stuff like that. And I'm kind of borderline thinking about doing that, just disabling the comments, because you know, I want people to see a little bit of our lives and to be able to interact with us. But the feelings I get regarding the hateful email and the hateful comments and things like that, it does play on you a little bit. It does. But anyway, to go ahead on about, this is the email that I got, and I am withholding the sender's YT name because of the fact that, you know, first of all, I respect the fact that they created the dialogue to begin with. However insensitive it might have been, or I might have perceived it to be, the point is, they didn't leave a comment on my video, you know, calling me out my name and, you know, saying all kind of derogatory things where other people could see them and feed off of that negativity. They came to me as a human being without name calling and just wanted to engage in a dialogue. So, you know, out of respect for that alone, I'm going to withhold the YouTube name. It says, why? I saw that video you did, husband tag. You were playing a game created by people on YouTube that are obsessed with interracial dating. I think that there are interracial couples that love each other, but I also believe that the ones that say they only date white or black people are people that are infatuated with being with the opposite race and use lame excuses to why they don't date men or women in the same race. Lord knows we need more black love in our community. I don't hate your husband because he's white. That would make me a racist. I just don't like the union of you two. I once heard a woman say she felt more confident when she dated a white guy, and that's a shame. that she needed a white guy to feel more confident. Black love is what I support, and it's sad that black men and women seem to hate each other these days. Blacks are a dying people. Sure, there'll be mixed people walking around, but you need a black man and white and black woman to have a black child. Okay, that was the first message. Now I'm going to read my first response. Hey, thanks for the email and talking to me like a human. I understand what you're talking about, but I have always dated people of other races. I married a black man and had black children, but my taste in white men started before puberty. It's more like I was a product of my environment, because I went to a private school where I was one of 4 black girls and there were 2 black boys in the entire school. So imagine, if you will, I got up for school at 6 in the morning and spent all day, all afternoon, and part of my evening with white children for years. So do you think that maybe it might not be too much of a stretch to say that I grew to be attached to white men? Besides what I've just pointed out to you, I don't think anyone, least of all myself, needs any excuse, however lame they may be perceived, to date someone who is of another race. I think all races are beautiful. I just do. LOL. I find joy in the Latin communities, the Polish community, the Asian communities. If I could travel the world, I would. It's our differences that make things interesting. I have black children. I am black. Why would you imply that I have no love for the black community, or that others who make such a choice as I have also hate each other? I don't get that. I think staying inside my race when I feel the need to do otherwise would help to justify the segregation that so many black people, and white people I meant to put, have fought and died to overcome. It would be condoning racism in its truest form, because I would be denying myself before I could be denied to meet the propaganda of races, be they white, black, or any other races. I refuse to conform. I have only one life. I don't condemn you for the choice that you make not to date another race. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not about what's meant for you. It's about what's meant for me. Jeff and I were meant to be. Otherwise, we wouldn't be where we are, would we? As for the woman who felt more confident dating a white man, did you ever ask her why? Or did you just draw a conclusion on your own? Don't forget that we all have our hang-ups. That is obviously her hang-up to work through. Anyone that feels they need a man, period, to feel confident obviously has some deep-seated issues that need to be dealt with. I came into my relationship with my husband already confident. That doesn't mean that I don't have issues, but I was independent and confident in myself before he came along. He didn't diminish it nor enhance it. What we have together is something more than that. It is a connection of our spirits, and I believe that what everyone looks for, and I believe that's what everyone looks for when they go looking for a relationship. Everyone is not like me. Everyone is not like you. There will be some black men, some black women and black men, and some white women and some white men, and some Asian women and some Asian men, and some Latin women and some Latin men who will choose to date another race. But we are the minority who choose it. But I don't think it means that the black race is a dying race. I think that is paranoia that people are feeding into. I get that you don't like us being together, but we are still your brother and your sister through God and by extension Jesus Christ. Regardless to whether or not you like the choice, I ask that you make the choice to love us anyway. It's what we were created for. Okay, and I hear Jeffrey pulling up right now, so he'll probably be in here in a minute. The next message that I was sent, same individual, he quoted me first by saying, I think staying inside my race when I feel the need to do otherwise would help to justify the segregation, end quote. You growing up around white boys in school could be a factor on why you feel the way you do. If that's the case, maybe that's the reason why there are so many black people that can't see beauty in people that look like them, because that's not who they were around when that interest sparked when it came to the opposite sex. So you feel a need to date other men? And I don't think staying in your race is segregation at all. Segregation is not having anything to do with others. Are black families living in a multicultural neighborhood segregating themselves even though they invite their white neighbors over to every Christmas or social gathering they throw? We're trained to think that white is better as a people. That's why we want our children to attend white schools, be around white people, have white names like Kennedy, because they think it will help them get a job in the future. Black women getting nose jobs wearing blonde hair, ridiculous. In America, black people have always been that guest in someone's home that didn't always feel welcome. Being afraid to say that you like chicken, that you live in a certain part of town near MLK Boulevard in front of a white person. That's conforming. Any white stereotype that a black person tries to stay away from when in the company of another race, that's conforming. Being afraid to be yourself, to being black. Whoopi Goldberg once said on The View that you will never see her with the watermelon in her hand. Obviously, she wasn't talking about not liking the taste, which she didn't say. That's conforming. My response to that, my point still stands. Your perceptions and beliefs are yours to hold as close to you as you deem necessary. You do seem to go on about we quite a bit, placing your own version of stereotypes on us black folk. However, it holds no water with me, as I've seen too much, been through too much to let anyone intimidate me because I am from a group of people that may or may not be looked down upon by others. LOL. Funny you should mention watermelon, because my husband knows that when the weather is right, he can win my affections by bringing me a nice, ripe, sweet watermelon. He also knows that I love collards and cornbread and fried chicken. If I don't tone down my desires in front of my husband, my family, what makes you think that I would tone it down for a group of people that don't know squat about me? I am always me. I don't know how to do anything else, and it's probably why I get myself into so much trouble. But nonetheless, try to get to know people individually instead of grouping them together. You get so much more out of it. Oh, and by the way, if you've ever taken a look at any of my other videos, you will notice that I don't wear wigs, I don't intend on getting a nose job, and I don't wear makeup, well, except on special occasions. I think I am beautiful, brown skin and all, baby. I don't cast stones for those that wear wigs and get nose jobs, etc. It's not my job to judge others. That's a waste of my time, as I don't have a heaven or a hell to put any of them in. Likewise, let's worry about things that matter, like domestic violence, global warming, drug addiction, the lack of prayer in schools. You know, things like that, because I see me loving my man as a good thing, not a negative. Hey, bub. I'm doing a video here. I got another email on from the guy that I was telling you about that sent me the email regarding the video that we here. Let me scooch over because I want you to hear this last email too. He already knows about the first two. I showed him that last night when you got home from work, I think it was. So yeah. Okay. That was Friday. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, last night.
So okay. Well, here's the other two that you didn't get a chance to see. And after that, he responded with, LOL, well, I guess it is what it is. LOL, my own stereotypes. I didn't invent these things. They've been around before I was born. But I guess you refuse to recognize that. It's okay if we hate each other, as long as race relations aren't what they were in the 40s. New form of open prejudice. I bet when you were married, you were secretly unhappy and looking at white males with wandering eyes, all because your husband's skin wasn't white. SMH, which is shaking my head. Am I right? There is a cult of people obsessed with interracial relationships on here. It's weird to me. Okay? And I said to him in response to that, I don't hate you. Make all the assumptions you need to in order to justify your train of thought, but I don't hate you. Just FYI, I don't think it's ever okay to hate someone. That's the sad part in all of this, is that you think it's okay for us to hate each other. Now I'm shaking my head. Okay. Then he sent me this today. LOL, I never said it was okay for us to hate each other. Are you talking about black people? Yeah, I was. So, that's what my rant is about, that we don't like each other, and that's not okay. I think you live within your circle and can't see anything outside of it because race isn't an issue in your circle. Okay, but outside, there's men and women that feel dating white will enhance their life. Their kids will look better. They feel better about themselves being around white people. They feel accepted. Okay, I'm not saying that you're like that. But if I was to see you in public, I would wonder if you fell into that group of black people. All this is probably new to you because it's not an issue in your circle. Sorry if it's shocking. Also, I don't want black people and whites to hate each other. I want us to live in peaceful harmony. If I choose to only date black women, which I love, it's not because I hate white people or I'm closed-minded. I think everybody has an idea of what they want their family to look like. I want black kids. If I have mixed kids, it's because I fell in love with a white woman, not because I don't want to date a black woman and that white women are better and my kids will be more attractive. There's black people that think like that. That's what I rebel against. I hate that. Again, not saying that's how you think, but you're a stranger, and if I was to see you in public, I would wonder about you. Okay. I think you're a pretty woman, and it's sad to think you don't want to contribute to the positive image of a black couple. Lord knows we need it. Have you ever heard people say the black family is dead? So, my response to that, okay, get your popcorn and your soda pop, Snuggie, and cuddle up because this is a little bit of a long one. What I said, and I'm going to give you my reaction as I was writing it. Now, it's going to start kind of high, but it does come down, okay, because I was really upset after the last one.
Throwing that shit around here.
Okay. I'm really trying to understand you right now. You seem to think and wonder things about me. I don't know why you're ranting at me and making assumptions about me. You profess to want to know why I made the decision to marry my husband, then in the same breath accuse me of not contributing to the positive image of a black couple. We're not a black couple, obviously. Why are you so sad with me? Sad with me. I'm living my life in the manner that makes me happy. Do you expect for me to divorce my husband and marry a black man so that you can look at me in a better light?
Walking down the street.
Another thing, I love my kids. For you to suggest that I wouldn't love them because they aren't half white is ridiculous and rude and downright offensive to me and mine. I don't tolerate that from no one. I don't know if you said what you said to make me upset, but let me tell you something. No one talks about my kids. No one. You don't know them. And I resent you for even thinking that black mothers who date white men love their children conditionally, because real mothers don't. If you want people to live in peace and harmony, then you have to begin by allowing others to live in peace and harmony. Live your life the way that God purposed for you, and allow others to live their lives the way that God purposed, not how you would have it. And what do you know about my circle? I don't have a circle. I have those I love, and I have those that love me. Is that my circle? Because other than those people, no one else matters. No one. Okay, I'm bringing it down at this point. All of your assumptions about what is right regarding interracial relationships interracial relations are just opinions. I tried to respect that, but you want to assume that I am blind to racism. I assure you that I am not blind. I have been called plenty of names and told plenty of things that were racist, and not all of the nasty dialogue was from pure white folk. Nor did they begin or end when I met and married my husband. So to suggest that the black struggle doesn't go beyond white folk leaves you with some blinders on of your own. White people are not the problem. Intolerance and hatred and insecurities and fear are the culprit. In this black woman's opinion, it is Satan that doesn't permit us to live peacefully in America. It's more than just what the eyes see. It is a spiritual battle. The funny thing about this all is, if I were living anywhere else but in the United States of America, Me loving my husband would not even be an issue, but because I do live here, make this my home, I have to constantly endure the bitterness of others. But I detest the sentiment that I am not a positive person, that I am self-loathing and detestable, that people think they know me and how I feel and my motivations from one freaking video. You know what? I just really wish that people could see things the way that we do for a moment, to disallow the racism to put up barriers in your hearts, to see how sad it is when people judge you by your choice of a mate, to see what it feels like to have people spit at you because you and your white spouse have matching wedding bands, and see the affection you two share, and have people detest you and judge you and make assumptions about you without knowing who you really are. And I really wish that people could see without the blinders on how good it feels not to hate someone because of the skin color, and how liberating it is to just give people the benefit of the doubt, to really get to know a person of another race and realize that they have things about them that are lovable, that people truly can relate to one another if they just gave it a chance. But alas, that's just something that I personally hope for. Yes, as you have said, things are better than they have been, but we have a far way to go. The good thing, the one good thing, is that there are many more people who are becoming more tolerant and open-minded due to people like myself and my husband allowing others into our lives every now and again. People are realizing that they do have choices, and not all white people are evil or hateful. I cannot change the world. I cannot be your positive black couple. Your positive black couple, because I married a white man. But what I can do is be positive as much as I can be. Show people that not all black mothers are allowing their black children to live in the streets and sell drugs. Show people that not all black children have children before they graduate high school. I can try my best to do that much. I can be the best mother and wife that I know how to be. I can't be everything to everyone, but I can do me. I'm best at doing that. So at this point, I don't know where that leaves you and me in this dialogue. At first I was really upset, but I'm not anymore, because I can't waste more energy on continuing to be upset. But I'm definitely being honest with you when I say I appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate you coming at me without calling me a big titty traitor or a self-loathing bitch. Some people lack the class to just talk to me. Whether we get upset with each other or misinterpret the other's intent, they show their lack of intelligence by just calling us all sorts of names. Ignorance is the devil's playground. People don't know enough to just communicate. So regardless to everything that was addressed and misconstrued or whatever, laugh out loud, I thank you for taking the time to just speak. If we agree to disagree, it's better than not having had the opportunity to talk with you. Again, thank you. So that was what was said, but I have to reiterate that this is not the first kind of email like this I've got. This is just the first that I've gotten where there's been more than a couple of messages sent back and forth. Usually I get the kind where I'm just being all kinds of called kinds of names, mainly by other black people who feel that I'm traitorous, that they detest me, that they hope that something bad happens to me, and questioning my motherhood with having a white man in the home as opposed to a black man. Just a whole bunch of things that I get in my email that gets me to the point that I don't even want to read the email anymore. I even thought at one time, which Jeff can attest to, that I just wanted to shut the channel down. I just wanted to take all my things and just put them on private so that it'll just be something that just I can see. But yeah, so what did you think of that last one? This was actually this is actually a pretty good dialogue, even though, yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay, because first of all, this gentleman, what is he?
Well, don't give out his name on
this gentleman on this video here fails to recognize that there's not a black race, there's not a white race, there's not a Chinese race, there's not a Mexican race. He fails to recognize that there's a human race. And with that being so said, it just shows the ignorance, and I truly say ignorance, of people out there that want to sit there and judge other people by interracial relationships, by color, by mental capacities. You're all stupid if you're doing that, because you are not taking the time to know an individual, but to judge an individual. And another thing to say, we've come a long ways in the racial society for
racial relations.
Well, what I'm looking for is Martin Luther King. You guys that are putting this negative stuff out there are actually stepping on his grave and calling him a stupid man, because you don't want to follow what he taught. He taught that he wanted both man, white, and black to sit down at the table and to eat together, but yet you still want to say, no, black's over here, white's over here. How wrong can that be? You're just taking everything and putting it back again where it was again back in the 20s. You ignorant little son of a bitches.
You're a little bit upset on it?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
It pisses me off.
You know what? It actually ticked me off when the last email is what ticked me off, because I took it as though he was attacking my person, especially my motherhood. You know, I'm very sensitive to that, and I think a lot of women, regardless to race, are very sensitive to their motherhood because we take it so seriously. It's a very emotional. Motherhood impacts your life on such a level that you just cannot tolerate somebody questioning your intentions, you know, as a mother. And you know, I asked the question, or I kind of implied that, you know, I may have misinterpreted his intent, but you know, sometimes women are emotional. Most of the time women are always emotional. Okay, so it's to a man's benefit to understand that about women, especially a heterosexual male, to understand that women are very sensitive about certain things, and you have to be tactful in the way that you approach a topic. And that was just one of those for me, and so I may have misinterpreted it. I don't know, because he kept referring to if I would see you in public and I did not know you, that sort of thing.
How would you know you?
And that's the thing that I'm saying, that's the lesson that we can take away from this whole thing, is that, you know, as a human being, don't judge just by, you know, seeing somebody walking towards you in the mall or down the street, or seeing somebody in a vehicle with, you know, a black woman or an interracial relationship, whether it's black woman and white man. But, you know, I'm sorry.
I want to say something. If you
To
don't
me?
mind. To your viewers.
Okay.
Do you remember the movie with the father whose daughter was raped down in Georgia?
Oh, with Samuel L. Jackson.
Right.
That was called oh God. I have that movie in the front room,
anyways,
as a matter of fact.
The gist is that when the lawyer, who is played by
Matthew McConaughey,
asked the jury to say, I want you to view everything that happened, but I want you to close your eyes. And instead of being a little black girl that was raped and was beaten on and was dragged and punished to all ends, now she's white. And it made the jurors cry. I just wish that everybody in the world...
A Time to Kill, that's what it was.
...could actually say, I am blind. I cannot see you for who you are.
Yeah, I cannot see your outer
colorless
appearance.
Right. And if you see it, I see Erica as a woman. I don't see her as a black woman, but I do not take away from her heritage. I accept her heritage, but I also accept her as a woman. Now, what he's doing is he is negating the idea that not only is she a woman, not only is she a black woman, but he's negating that to the point that a man and a woman should be together. But he wants to go to the point that it has to be one race, one color.
I don't subscribe to that, not at all.
And how ignorant can you be?
There was something that actually Jeff and I both came to find this truism, is that, you know, you're not better than anybody, but you're not less than anybody either. So for me to put up a barrier racially means that either I think I'm better than or that I'm less than. I choose not to do that. I'm not better than anybody, but I'm not less than anybody. You know what I mean? And that's why I've always chosen to date interracially. It wasn't just white men that I dated. I've dated Hispanic, Indian, and also one, well, he was like half Asian. So, but that still counts. So, but I mean, I've always dated outside my race. If I vibe with a person, you know, I just do, you know. I mean, I don't know what more I can say on that. I think that a lot of people still, even though they feel they are truly enlightened, really need to be liberated. You understand what I'm saying? Like, to be able to look at somebody and say that I'm going to give this person a chance, the benefit of the doubt. I don't know this person. I'm not going to base him on color. You know, because if you were blind, what would you do? You know? So, I don't know.
Well, the way that Erica and I look at each other is, I'm not superior, she's not less. We are equal. We do things together. We make decisions together. We go places together. We talk to each other. We have a great communication level for each other. So to say that because she's black, she's less, no. We are equal. And we do everything together as equal partners. Except for some things like lawn work and stuff like that, but still, that's different.
Yeah,
but still,
that's a gender thing right there.
That's just because I choose to do the lawn. I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
But no, I see her as equal to me. I don't see her less than because she's a woman, or because she may be a black, or she is a black woman. I don't see that less. I see her as equal. We are partners. 50-50.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. That doesn't mean that I don't have my preference.
That's correct.
But all of my life experiences have formed who I am today. So I cannot deny that I have my preferences. But that does not mean that I think that I'm less than, or again, that I am better than. It just means that my experiences have led me to certain conclusions. So, yeah, and this is Jeffrey coming home from his docent second job. How you feeling?
I'm fine. I'm just a little perturbed about the email there that, you know.
And tell them what you said to me when I said I'm going to stop the channel. Well, you probably don't remember everything you said because it was a while ago. But, like, just kind of, how do you call it when you kind of clump it all together? Just give a
Well, I don't want you to stop it because you get more feedback than you get negativity. And it helps the viewers to get to know you, me, us together. And we got more positive feedback than we do get negative.
Yeah, we do.
But when the negative comes out,
it just, for some reason, that grips you more than the positive energy. I don't understand why I feel that way I mean, the negative energy, you're always going to get that wherever you go. As an interracial couple, you're going to get that. I don't know why on this channel that bothers me, because when I'm out in the world and I see, folks can be really rude when you out and about, when you in Kmart, Walmart, Meijer,
just walk
the
down the
mall.
street.
People can be really a-holes. They can be a-holes.
Well, you know, I don't mean to cut you off. I really don't. But in all reality, most of the comments we get of a negative comment are usually from black males.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know why black men are so militant towards the black woman when they... Y'all remember when Charles Barkley first married his wife, and she was a white woman, and like black women were the ones that were upset by this originally. Black men, I barely heard 2 words about it. It was the black women that were upset. And then when black women began to, you know, date outside their race and stuff like that, then it just seemed like black men just came from everywhere with all this negativity. It's like, where were you when, you know, the trend of dating white women for black men was becoming the norm? I mean, like, where were you?
I was the Million Man March. But obviously that didn't work out very well, did it? Because how many families right now don't have fathers?
But it is that issue is getting better. I mean, I know you seem to think otherwise,
From what I see,
but think of the fact that my ex-husband did not have a father. He had 6 brothers and sisters. They lived in the projects, okay? But this is somebody who, even though he didn't finish college the first time around, he still went back to college. When he had his children, he made it his business to marry his children's mother. Well, at the time, it was just Maya. She was like 5 months old. You know, we stayed together for her, and then subsequently we had another child. And, you know, and then, you know, we moved here. He didn't have any family here. But you know what he did? When we divorced, he stayed right here. He stayed here because of his children. And even though he grew up with a father that neglected him, that lied to him, and just was not there for him at all, physically or emotionally, and even though I have some issues with him, he stayed here for his children. And I think that there are a lot of men who are taking that road instead of following in the steps of, you know, former generations of fathers who just walked away. I think there are more of those actually coming about than men who are walking away, because I think the number actually used to be bigger back then. It just wasn't categorized so much as it is now. So it seems like the number is bigger, but it's actually not, because I read a lot of blogs from black fathers who are still there with their children regardless. They're single fathers. You know, some of them have been divorced, some of them never married the mother, but regardless, you know, they do stick around for the kids. And even though you see Maury Povich is not representative of all, you know, people brought up in the hood and, you know, stuff like that. That is not representative of everybody. I grew up in the hood. I am not that element, okay? So people can rise above the influence, as the commercial says.
And for the fathers that do, the black fathers that do stick around for their children, kudos to you. I mean, I gotta take my hat off to that, because children nowadays do need that father figure, and there's a lot of them out there that do not have a father figure. But the ones that do stick around to weigh out the weather, because, you know,
that's actually a whole big topic that goes
good for you,
way deeper. But yeah, you know, and I told my ex-husband, you know, I commend you for, even though our relationship didn't work out, for sticking in there and staying here even though you didn't have family here. I mean, all I have is my mother here, so we're essentially our own family, even though, you know, I have my issues with my ex-husband and whatever. But you know, he's doing the best with what he's got. He didn't have somebody to show him what being a father was like. He's winging it. You know, and I mean, he makes mistakes and sometimes he ticks me off, y'all. But where it comes to his kids, I can honestly say I know he loves and he's very devoted to those kids. I can't take that away from him. I wouldn't want to. I'm very proud of him, and even though we may not have been the best husband-wife team, because neither one of us knew anything when we were married, even though I can still say that I'm proud to say that he's the father of my kids, because considering what I could have ended up with, you feel me?
What's that supposed to mean?
Do you understand where I'm coming from? You picking up what I'm laying down, that sort of thing. Yeah. So, anywho, all right. So, yeah. I just wanted to get y'all that, and if you want to leave an opinion, you're welcome to it. If you got through this 40-minute video, it was a long one. So, all right. Say bye-bye.
Goodbye.